Are you launching a new website or redesigning one soon? I'm going to share 8 must checks before you go live. Hey, I'm Sam Dunning, co-owner over at webchoiceuk.com and host of the Top 100 Marketing Podcast, Business Growth Show. If you haven't yet, check out our weekly email where we share actionable marketing tips, useful podcasts, free guides, bonus resources, and much, much more. Every Monday to start your week off with a bang, sign up over at businessgrowth.email. So tip number 1 is going to be page speed. So you can use a tool called Google PageSpeed Insights where you literally just copy and paste your website URL. It will run a test of your mobile and your desktop page speed, tell you how quick it is, any areas that are perhaps slow, and what you need to change to improve the speed. So there's nothing worse than when you're trying to look for a product or service, perhaps you find them on Google, perhaps you click an ad, and the website takes ages to load. It's going to frustrate your visitors. It's actually going to harm your brand reputation. And worst of all, it's going to harm your conversion rate. Because if the site loads slowly, it's really going to annoy people. They're probably going to click away to a competitor and you lose the chance of ever winning their business. So make sure you get your speed sorted out nice and quickly. Aim for 1 second or as close to 1 sec load speed on mobile and desktop as you can. Tip 2 is checking your inquiry forms. So no one wants to miss a fresh inbound sales lead from their website. So what you need to do is test every form, demo request, consultation request form that you've got on your website, put in some dummy details and make sure that that form links up to the correct email address. So anytime someone makes an inquiry on your website, you're going to get that lead through straight away. And likewise, if you perhaps use calendar tools like Calendly or Chili Piper or similar on your website, test those out, make sure they route through to the correct sales rep straight away so you don't miss out on any fresh, juicy leads. Tip 3 is checking your website works smoothly across mobile, across PC, and across tablet. So there's a little hack on Google Chrome. You can press F12 and it'll actually enable you to toggle between different mobile devices, different tablet views, and various other options. So you can see what your website performs like on those views. Basic things like making sure your menu is stuck to the top when people scroll down. So everything looks great. So you don't have to zoom in, scroll around. So there's not issues. So all navigation, all banner areas, all buttons are nice and clickable and work smoothly across mobile, tablet, and PC, making sure there's no issues. We actually use at webchoiceuk.com, we use a tool called Browser Stack. So that lets you test different environments, different mobile devices, different softwares, different screen sizes across Apple, across Safari, across Google Chrome. So you can make sure your website looks great, performs great, has no usability errors, because the last thing you want is investing in marketing, driving traffic to your site, but there being an issue on someone's device, so you lose the chance to gain their business. Next up is call to actions. So making sure the main buttons, numbers, emails on your site all click through and go to the right place. So perhaps your main call to action is request a tailored demo, or maybe it's book a consultation call, or maybe even it's buy now. So making sure those buttons link through to the relevant contact form or link through to the purchase process, or if you've got numbers that click through when you click those on mobile, that they click through and make sure they dial the right place. So ensuring that whenever someone's ready to speak to sales, that those call to action buttons on all your main pages are working smoothly so you don't miss out on any opportunities. Tip number 5 is an SSL certificate. What's an SSL? Well, when you search for a website, when you bring up the website address in your browser, you'll see a padlock and you'll see a HTTPS://. That basically means the website's got a layer of encrypted security from that SSL certificate. You can install one. Usually your hosting provider will offer you one, or your web provider will be able to help you out with it. It's typically quite cheap and easy to install and set up. The reason you want it is because it helps build confidence when people see that padlock on your site address. And also, if your website's not secure, Google's actually going to flag it. It's a downranking factor. So Google will flag your site as unsecure. So people might not even be able to access or get into your website. So make sure you've got that set up. Next up is Google Analytics. Google Analytics is an awesome tool that allows you to get all kind of insights on your website around how much traffic you get, how many visitors you get per day, where the traffic's coming from, so the location sources, how people are finding you, whether it's Google organic search like SEO, whether it's paid ads, whether it's social, email, directly coming to your site or any other channels. You can track your conversions. So you can link up Google Analytics to all your inquiry forms, to purchases, to when someone clicks a phone number, when they press a call to action. So you can track all your goal conversions or your leads. You can also track how long people are staying on the site, how many people are bouncing off when they go onto the homepage and not visit another page, how long people spend on each page. All these key insights that make you understand how well your website is performing, the current stats, and perhaps any areas for improvement. The good thing about it is it's free to set up an account on Google Analytics. You can set it up nice and easily, and then just get your developer to install a piece of code on your site, and then you're good to rock and roll. At number 7, we have SEO. So this is really important if you're doing a site redesign or rebuild or shifting to a new platform, making sure you consider things like content. So if you've got certain pages that are ranking well, making sure you carefully transfer that content across, because those pages might have been on page 1 now, and then perhaps if you mix, match, change all the copy, that could cause ranking issues and you to go downwards in Google's algorithm. Otherwise, making sure you carefully transfer across things like the metadata, so meta titles and descriptions, what shows in your Google listings, any alt tags on images, any structure of your navigation, of your page silos, and all that good stuff. And making sure you keep the framework, the content, and the technical build as close as you can to the existing site that's got that Google ranking, so you don't cause negative effects when you do make the new site live. And the final tip is hosting. So this is not a part to scrimp and save, especially if you're planning on marketing your site. Perhaps you're going to drive people to your site and do organic SEO. Maybe you're going to do some paid ads, some Google AdWords, perhaps some social advertisement. Maybe you're going to do some organic social and drive people there from LinkedIn or Facebook. Perhaps you're going to do some email campaigns as well. So the last thing you want to do is send a load of traffic, a load of people to your site, and then it crashes because it can't withstand the traffic. Perhaps it doesn't have the bandwidth, the memory, or something else. So make sure you get a solid hosting platform in place that's going to be able to cope with all the traffic. So speak to your hosting or your web team about that and what you're planning to on the marketing front so they can advise. And then also make sure that you're set up to at least take one backup a day of your website. So if there ever are issues, you've got a backup that can kick into place if the site ever goes down or has an issue or glitch. And there you have it. I hope these 8 tips have been of use to you before you launch a new or redesign a website and go live with it. As always, if you found today's episode of use, a quick rating on your podcast channel or subscribe on YouTube is very, very much appreciated. And with that, I shall catch you on the next one. Cheers.